Hi friends, welcome to my channel and a little unboxing of Botanical Inspirations by Lynn Rougeau, I think. It says there's a deck and book set, and inside it says it has 44 cards with quotations, a 100-page illustrated guidebook, a fold-out guide to the secret language of flowers, and a drawstring organza pouch. Nice. And it wasn't expensive. It was this 2017 this came out by the looks of things. Oh, pokers. Yeah, it wasn't very expensive. Mass market. And the reason I bought this, I was just reading the back there. Years ago when I was studying Open University, Art Foundation course, there was information there about the way that flowers were used in paintings and how every flower had an actual meaning assigned to it, which the Victorians would have actually known. And so my understanding is, because not everyone was literate, not everyone could read, they could read images. And so if you had, say, a lily in a painting, it would mean there's death involved. Roses, different colours roses. Yellow meant friendship, red meant passion, pink meant love, etc. You know, all these sort of things. So I've forgotten most of them. So there you go. That's the reason I bought this, was to actually remind myself, really. So let's open the box. It's got a little ribbon here to open the box up, and it opens upwards as opposed to sideways, which is different. There's beautiful illustrations of all different flowers. And I will read the back. It says, Botanical Inspirations Deck features the secret meanings and messages of flowers with the treasured artwork of Pierre-Joseph Redoute. Excuse my pidgin French. Guidebook presents insightful vignettes culled from history, lore and legend, and all flowers have stories to tell. Yes, it's a fascinating subject. I think there's some books on this subject. Okay, we've got a very small guidebook. So what's in the guidebook? Let's have a little look. An introduction, and then straight into the cards. So for the cards, we've got symbolism. So Amaryllis is determination and creative achievement. And we've got a little quote here. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Brilliant. And then we have the legend and an inspirational message. Okay. And so that goes for all of the cards. The back. Okay, looks like they're in alphabetical order. And then we have how to read with the cards. There's a 3-card spread here, fleur de lis pattern. We have a sample reading for that 3-card spread, and then using it again in a different way with an example reading, and that's it. And this book is going to fall apart, I think. It's glued together and I can already tell it's coming apart. So it's not very substantial, so be aware of that, unfortunately. So let's have a look in the box. We have an organza bag. These are coming with a few decks, aren't they? That Angie Solin's deck, I had an organza bag in it. Pretty. So here we have, so it's got a ribbon to actually pull the cards out with. Nice. And then we've got, oh, look at this, a cheat sheet. So yeah, Hyacinth's playfulness, Hydrangea thankfulness for understanding. So you can see how they could have been used back in the day. maybe a little calling card with the plant, or with the flower on the front of it, so the recipient knew what the intention was behind it. A lot of it's lost to us now, sadly. Yes, fascinating stuff. So these are the backs. Very a very Victorian feel to them, actually. Beautiful. And these are what we have about the illustrator. Oh gosh, look, 1759 to 1840. And then we come on to the cards themselves. So for the cards, we have their meaning and their quote that was in the guidebook, which is the same for every card. And as it says, these illustrations are antique illustrations by Pierre-Joseph Redoute. He was born to a Flemish family of decorative painters. As a young man, he went to Paris, where he began painting the flowers of the royal gardens. His detailed etchings caught the attention of botanists who taught him more about the anatomy of plants, and artists who introduced him to a new watercolour technique for illustrating flowers. Marie Antoinette hired Redoute to decorate the walls of her chateau. Wow! By the late 1790s, Redoute had become the most famous and sought-after flower painter in Europe. Empress Josephine invited him to come to Chateau de Malmaison to paint the flowers in her magnificent garden, which held over 200 varieties of roses. Between 1817 and 1824, Redoute published a 3-volume collection of his rose paintings called Les Roses, his most famous publication. Since roses were Redoute's trademark, we have included 4 of his rose paintings in this Botanical Inspirations Deck. There we go. Lovely. Nice to know the background, isn't it? Okay, let's zoom in and have a little look at the cards. So as I said, they're in alphabetical order. And we start with Amaryllis. Nice as a plant identifier as well, isn't it? You know, it's used by botanists. I love this watercolour technique. I think it's gorgeous. Anemone. One of those that can be difficult to say. Anemone. Anemone. Windflower. Anticipation. I felt like an arrow pulled back and ready to be launched into something big. Okay. Apple blossoms. Asters. Bellflower. Camellia. I'm presuming all of these flowers are still around today. Clematis. I don't know that one. Coreopsis. That's not one I'm familiar with. Crocus, yes. Beautiful daffodil, Narcissus. Rebirth and new beginnings, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because they come out in the spring. And we have a dahlia. False indigo, don't know that one. I mean, this could just be my lack of knowledge where plants are concerned. I love forget-me-nots, especially in churchyards. Eternal memories. Heliotrope. Gerbera daisy. I'm also wondering if these are native plants to different regions. Some of these I know we have in the UK, some I'm not familiar with, and I'm just wondering if they are maybe plants in America or, in different countries or in Europe somewhere. Hibiscus, honeysuckle, hyacinth, hydrangea. My garden's full of hydrangeas. So was my mother's, actually. They're quite prevalent here. Hard to grow blue ones though, for some reason. Something to do with the soil, I think. Iris, lilac, lily, magnolia, beautiful. I love the magnolia trees. Morning glory, nasturtium, pansy, peony, beautiful, gorgeous plants, oh, flowers on the plants, phlox, primrose, pretty little primroses. Oh, here we go, pink rose, grace and sweetness, red rose, hidden secrets, white rose, new start and wisdom, yellow rose, enthusiasm and friendship. Yeah. Sacred lotus, no mud, no lotus. Very good, enlightenment. Snapdragon. Oh, sweet pea, one of my favourite little flowers. Gorgeous. Sweet William. Trumpet gentian, gentian, oh, no idea. Tuberose, tulip, a Venice mallow, which is another hibiscus by the looks of that. A violet. Also, I mean, it's interesting that we have people's names as well, weren't they? Back in the day, like Violet was quite a common name in the UK, and it actually means faithfulness and modesty. So immediately I'm thinking patriarchy there. But anyway, let's not go down that road. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. Okay, let's give it a shuffle. They're not very big cards. Big enough. Have I got my comparison Rider-Waite-Smith? 1 second, I'll go get. Okay, so as a comparison, they're a little bit shorter than the Rider-Waite-Smith, but about as wide. Yeah, about as wide and a little bit shorter. So yeah, nice size that. Okay, shall we have a look at a card in the guidebook and see what we get? Just as an indication of how the guidebook reads. Okay. What do we have? We have Sweet William, which is gallantry, grant me a single smile. So you could see how, you know, between sweethearts, if one, you know, a card was sent, or if a flower, a Sweet William flower, was given to a young lady by a young man, then they would know exactly why. Grant me a single smile. Sweet William small has form and aspect bright, like that sweet flower that yields great Jove delight. Jove? Jove as in jovial, maybe, as in happiness. I would assume. No expert. Anyway, let's have a little look. So it's alphabetical. Yeah, Sweet William. And we have exactly the same as we have on the card here in the book. And then the additional text. Sweet William may have taken its name from the old English romantic ballad of Sweet William, the gallant sailor who pledged his faithful love to Black-Eyed Susan. Black-Eyed Susan's another plant. It's yellow with the black middle. These two wildflowers, Dianthus barbatus and rudbeckia are often found together, always blooming at the same time. Others believe the flower's moniker was actually inspired by William Shakespeare. To Victorians, the fragrant flower carried the message to their recipient, "Grant me a single smile." The tiny tufts of sweet William flowers invite you to come closer and allow yourself to fall under their spell as you gaze into their eyes. Inspirational message. The most attractive thing you can put on each day is your smile. Your smile will attract more positive energy from others around you. Be the reason someone smiles today. So it's quite twee, really. It's just a little twee deck, isn't it? Pretty little twee deck, I think. Which, you know, there's always room for that in our lives. We don't always have to be doing like deep shadow work, do we? So anyway, that is the Botanical Inspirations by Lynn Arosho. Yeah, pretty little deck. Okay, well, thanks for being with me today, and until the next video. Bye, friends. Bye.